Thank you so much, C.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Welcome to Talk Data to Me here with Chicago John and me, your girl, Chris D. Welcome in if it's your first time. Let us know in the chat, how have you found us? And if it's not, have you been enjoying it? We hope so, and we hope that's why you're back. What we talking about today, Chicago?
We always talk about the new technology, the content, making money, making moves, what people upset about with technology and stuff like that. We in graduation season, so we already know. Did you now? Speaking of graduation season, and you like to say, welcome to Talk Data to Me with your host Chicago John and Crystal D. If you haven't subscribed to us, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button here or whatever you're watching this at: TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Stack, your mama house, everything. Just go ahead and subscribe and then hit that like button and that like. But it graduation day, and because of graduation day, hey Mike, there were some things with AI that happened this past week. It was so silly. I had to I found the clip of it where there was they had some professor giving out a award. She was giving out some speech to these art kids. They said it was art kids, and she was talking about how AI is the new revolution, which is true. But the art kids were not happy for it. They were just like, boo, we're not going to do anything anyway with our checks. So, we're not without the degrees. So, yeah, we're here to talk about all the type of things that involve AI, to technology, to content, to how to move in these right places. So, do you see that one?
I didn't, no.
Okay, that's cool. But you see, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern of this
no,
kind of
there's
stuff.
I like it. There's some things you catch, some things I don't. NJ, I also want to say he's cracking me. They're cracking me up in the chat because this is what happened to me, NJ. I thought I would go look and see how Talk Data to us, where we were, landing, and if you could find us Googling. He's like, I'm looking on YouTube and I couldn't even find it. There's only a white woman version. And that's definitely not our podcast. So thank you for continuing to look. And we're going to keep showing up so we show up stronger in the search. We're working on our SEO, which a lot of us, we know about, but we aren't actively doing, and talking to Gemini and Claude about how we can strengthen that. So each week we get better, and y'all help us with that. Thank you so much. You know that everyone is always talking about something. So we would love to bring that to you here. Thank you so much coming over from TT. I got some friends from the IG who asked us some questions this week in the stories. So if you don't follow us on all the platforms, Chicago John and me, your girl Chris D, creates, then definitely lock in with us, so we can keep the conversation going even when we're not live. Thank you so much for all the love. We started with the trends, talking and texting your friends. What's the pattern that everyone's talking about? We see AI, gas prices, your president, but the pressure is really what we're talking about. Yes, markets can change, things can crash, gas goes up, but do you have control of your own things? So we often talk about how we create and what our creations are, and if they're ours. We know AI, they won't even let you copyright, right? Speaking of copywriting, you've stolen enough AI art now to know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like a true traditional artist, just stealing other arts and then just redoing it. So that's what true AI art is all about. So if you guys haven't seen too, if you are subscribed to this YouTube page, I have been going on
Thank you guys so much.
My partner, Dr.
It would not be a show here with me in Chicago John if we didn't have one little tech glitch to make sure that you guys and we are on our toes, right? Keep you on our toes, make sure we're keeping the conversation hot. So while he frees back up, you guys let us know in the chat if you had any questions also, because we had a lot of questions come through the Instagram. There he is. We got him back.
Yeah, we were to you today. It's hilarious. So, like I said, I can't see the chat, so I'm not ignoring you. If you guys are in the chat, I'm not ignoring you. I can't see it. So, but hopefully everything else running through smoothly.
I'll keep an eye on the chat. We have friends over here from TT. Thank you so much for shouting us out. We were talking about actually having control and how you and I talk about if we control our own data, what you control, and what ecosystems we obviously don't control. So what are you relying on? Thank you. Hey.
Invest in it yourself about what's going on, and you have to do your inventory, just like how the big corporations do, like what QBRs and uh, analytics on their own. So you need to do analytics on your own. So you really are serious about the content creation, your business, all that. You need to have a good strategy going into the different. You need to mirror these billion-dollar corporations. As much as I try to fight it. I am a corporate man. Unless she try to find it, she is one of those corporate women that you don't want to talk to at work. So you have to kind of play into those successful roles. You be pretending of that nature. So
I mean, I think it's a great point. We know that ownership rules all, and that's why the corporate, it feels like the corporate takeover. But eat the rich, okay, and make your own. Just kidding. That's a different podcast. For now, we'll talk about our actual ownership and how we can make sure that we stay safe. In this crazy time that we are in, we see what's happening. It's hard sometimes to like make a day in the life and make fun content, and you see like what's happening in the real world. But maybe you take what's happening in the real world and you use it for your business, and not to just like think about the end of days, and but like maybe have a generator and some extra batteries. But for now, even if we're talking about rising gas prices, maybe we can also talk about the behavior change of people. People don't really stop spending all across the board. They kind of stop spending on certain things. They get selective, right? So if you're going to
right.
have a smaller purchase, a digital product that can solve a problem, it could still get purchased just because it feels like we are in a recession right now.
If you figure out a problem, I mean a solution for either one of those, mostly on making the money, because when it comes to save money, that's something you probably gotta have to do for your own self. You can't save other people money. But yeah, having digital products is definitely the way to go. Especially when you have, they a lot of people complain about they pushing away from physical, buying physical and stuff like that. But when it come down to digital products, if you can own your own digital product, sell it, you see so much of a market share on it. Like for me, I have my book, Big Mama and the Big Bad Book of Secrets, that I carry with me all the time. My book, Big Mama and Big Bad Book of Secrets. So the physical copy of selling it, you really get probably almost, if you're lucky, a little bit more than half of the what you have to pay for it. Especially we got to buy it in bulk. You got to get it made, and you got to ship it out. You add all that stuff in, it becomes almost a you're almost like promoting your own self and doing your own commercial about selling your book. But when you have it, when people buy that, especially you actually get at least up to so unless you your books out on the street or out of your car at a hair barbershop and stuff like that, those who have hair know that knows you got to do it like that.
Listen, but that's a great point. We need digital products and physical, most likely, especially if you're a growing business. As much as people are pushing AI, we can see that there's almost like a reaction to it. So people are actively wanting to get outside and ground and have personal experiences, and you see like ultra luxury really diving into that. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how Porsche was over here, like, nobody wants AI when they're talking about going to buy a Porsche. They want luxury red carpet service, and that's what they are giving. So they are not going to make that AI commercial, which we might, to push and market our business. But when we get up with Porsche's budget, then we won't need to. Okay.
Yeah, but when it comes down to luxury too, now if you got to appeal to the other individual. You may not want to buy luxury, but you want to start building, and buying convenience. Convenience may trump luxury for some people. I'm more of a convenience person to whatever make my life easier. I'd rather spend for somebody like, a cleaning service or an app that helps me get my life together. That worth more to me, taking care of my time, way more than a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. That may make the whoever I'm with or the missus happy and stuff for a moment because she can brag it around, but not for me. Like I said, I need to pay for things that make sense. That like, because that's when they say time is so valuable, time is very valuable. It's the most valuable thing that you have. And so if I can learn how to expand on it and stuff, that means so much more than just like that. I'll buy you a purse, honey, one day, Crystal. But as of right now, I need to buy my time. Buy my time.
Listen, and that's why we're using AI. A lot of us are using AI, right? To
Mhm.
keep us on track and on task. It was supposed to be one of those. Okay. Thank you guys so much. We are over here multi-screaming, y'all. We talking in multiple chats, trying to make sure we keep it all connected. And it's harder
We're
than it
doing
looks.
the cardinal sin right now, just doing multiples, looking
Doing
at
all the
multiple
things you're
things.
not supposed to do. You're supposed to focus on one. So do as we say, not as we do. But if you're on all these apps, we're so glad to see you. Thank you. We see you, NJ. You know what's funny about that? TT still stands and they know that they need it. These corporations would be nowhere without TT. And the culture that is created on the app, which TT should be paying its creators more money. But again, we won't go there. So
Well,
we
when
all
it
know
comes
it's
to,
true.
I mean, when it comes to it too, that's why the creators need to use it for what they need to use it. Like we talked about it yesterday. If you're on TikTok, you really need to use that for your community building and testing out a lot of your theories about stuff. If you're making things like your book or
You guys so much, Lenny. Thank. Sorry.
for those individuals because hey, that's where real money is actually at. That's where the commercials. That's where people are watching you for their entertainment. So yeah, you may get a little bit of that on TikTok, but it's really about that community building and testing out, what works and don't work. Uh, because I've done things on TikTok that does not really work too well, but then I bring the little polished part over to Instagram and YouTube, and it does great. People enjoy it. But the so you need to know what are you getting from each of these platforms? What are you trying to get from here? Us, we over here, shouting our names out, educating you guys about technology, career moves, content moves, all that stuff so you can be more successful than you already are. So that's what we're doing over here. And until we start getting our brand deals so we can have this sponsored by Slap Your Mama Seasoning in the back in the book,
Oh,
like Big Mama and the Big
with the
Bad Book
Big
Secret.
Mama's Big Bag of
Yeah.
Secrets.
So be on the
Yes.
lookout
Thank
for a
you,
Big Mama and
Lou.
the Big Bag
Oh, thank
Seasoning
you.
coming out. I can network with my friends over there
You
on
actually,
TikTok.
you actually could find somebody on TikTok probably pretty quickly. That's a really good idea.
I, I
You
already
could
got
like
somebody at
partner with
Herbs.
somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I bet she does got herbs. Okay.
Yeah,
420 somewhere.
Herbs.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We listen, we are joking, but what a smart play, right? We always want to be thinking about like the bigger connecting picture, the ecosystem that you're creating. It's not just your handle, you're making community. You are hopefully supporting other businesses, right? So he's got a book that sells an incredible story, but also has recipes in it. What a great way to double down on a recipe book. Then work with someone that has a physical product like a seasoning, like a slap yo mama, like a, maybe you start with the mom that's making them at the house, and then later you work with slap yo mama and adobo. Okay. Oh no, adobo's canceled, aren't they? God dang, why y'all all like Trump? Okay, anyway, listen. If you don't have a digital product, NJ over here saying he can't make a digital product because they ain't got no Wi-Fi. Okay, you can make a digital product on your phone right now. If you're watching me, you can make a digital product with whatever you are watching me on. Okay, he actually made his physical book and then was able to talk about the marketing of it and use AI to help him push it out, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to do your creative thinking for you, but have you ever thought about how you really wanted a virtual assistant? Have you ever thought about like other things that you wish you could be doing while somebody was handling the back end? That is what we really want to double down on and have people thinking about for AI, right? Maybe you don't really want to make AI videos and have people call your creative creations slop. But getting it to read your email and possibly check the coding of your website, we're all about it. Okay. So you're going to see that infrastructure is winning. Do you have infrastructure in your own business? Right. I mean, it's not just news that's talking about gas prices and oil, but they're literally talking about control over resources. So you are making a resource, you are creating a digital product, you are creating content, you are talking about how you are a doula, how you're a mom, how you're an author, and then you're putting it up on a platform that might disappear, that might take your stuff. I know y'all probably seen how that poor girl lost her huge signature series. She's fighting Elf right now because they stole her information. They stole her signature series. I think it was like face card never declines, right? And they stole it, and she's fighting for that. So if you can't afford the trademark, how can you control your resources with what you have while you later, get up to that Taylor Swift trademark ability? Okay. Um, Listen, the community went with Sue. Oh no, NJ, I don't know about that. Let me find out. Thank you so much to all the love, y'all. Thank you for TAPing all over the screen. Make sure you send it, repost it, chat it, share it, whatever the words are of whatever platform you're watching this on. Thank you so much. Chicago John's service is nervous. So we're going to go all the way to the reality check of AI because that's what you really want. We know the internet is shifting fast. We know that everybody's talking about followers, but that community matters more than followers. So somebody with a huge following, but also knows about creating community would be your friend Chicago John right here, who is focused on the correct side of the numbers, right? So if it's hard for you to like get out of the vanity metrics, he's somebody you really want to tap in with because it's not me. No. Listen, with my clients, I always tell them, like, I am not here to make you go viral. Okay. That's not my job. The job is to create the micro communities, to have the content that's working for you, and to be story driven, right? So something is sticking with people, so that you're communicating something. It is just game over for you, sir. We might just start and stop again. I mean, stop and start again. Because you are gone, my friend. It has been a rough 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, this has been a rough one. C's over here being like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to actually work on this episode.
Okay, can you hear me now though? We good now?
You're good now. Okay, so the first 11 minutes and the last 4. Let me write it down right quick. Cut to minute 11 and then splice up around 19. I mean, I was cooking though. So if you
Yeah,
want
you
to
were
talk about
cooking.
the
You were doing a
reality
good
check,
job. I mean, I thought I was answering a few things too, like the
thank you,
lady and
podcast in the
everything. But
building.
we'll
Okay.
just move forward. Well,
We keep it moving. I like it. I like it. Listen, C is over here being like, don't give me more work to do. Okay.
look, and
Look at
when we run
God.
these,
Look at
and that's
God.
what you
Wow,
definitely
NJ,
want to
that's
do.
incredible.
When you get a chance and you run these through and you want to get your clips and everything like that. If anything, if you clip this the most, the clips already like uh Crystal already. So all she got to do is just go and look in her opus and just put up all the clips of her. So it already sounds like this is a show anyway of talking. If I'm not even struggling with the Wi-Fi over here out here in this place, but
It's basically Chris D and sometimes John.
yeah, yeah, if you look at it, so I'll make sure to take over the shows at some point. She'll rule the day once I get good Wi-Fi out of the area that we're in right now. So it is happening every so often though. Like every so often, we will get like bad Wi. Like I'll get good Wi-Fi and nothing happens. Maybe because everybody at lunch. Maybe there's one of those lunch days where people. I don't know.
It's funny though, because now you are perfect and you're like crystal clear. Before a second ago, you were like pixelated, but now it's like perfection. So you're right. I don't know. Tell Granny to get off ChatGPT. Look, there you go again. It's because I said Granny. She's like, shut up. Thank y'all so much for coming in, loving on the live. Chicago John, I can hear myself. I don't know if you got me running on something, but since we are doing an audio, okay,
No,
I don't know.
like I said, I'm talking through my very expensive mic. That's
Hey,
is showing
look
me
at
that
that
there's no other
mic
sound.
upgrade. Thank you so much for loving on the live, y'all. Welcome in. We're doing, I see NJ talking about their digital story. We got a few digital stories coming out. Chicago John actually making the physical book. And then we were talking about the reality of, a lot of creators realizing that they don't own their content. My voice is coming out of a speaker.
Okay.
Please turn it off. You guys don't hear that? They just said they hear it twice.
I don't even know.
He's
Let me
playing a
get.
joke on me, right? We're sorry to all the Spotify people. This is not going to be the best audio, but shout out to y'all in the chat because we have been having a great and fun time here talking about the reality check of AI. There's no point of building attention if you're not building ownership. And we have someone who is literally showing us how to own um, your thoughts, your creativity. Why not actually publish your work? So get your book ready, whether it's an ebook or a physical book. Big Mama's Skinny Back. Don't steal his title. I'm sorry. Get your own ideas, okay? But while you're thinking about the ownership, maybe you can't trademark like the Taylor Swifts of the world, but your identity is an asset. Chicago John just loves his face. So he's consistently thinking about how he can trademark, you know, um, bald black men. But unfortunately, it's a hard trade. So all that can be is what you have, your voice, your name, the content. And a lot of us, we think that at least if we put that kind of stuff and you put it in multiple pages, if you have an Instagram that has your handle name, if you make a hashtag, yeah, they do something for you. But obviously, standing up in court, trademark is the best way to go. Maybe your LLC is named something like your name, but if you speak to a lawyer, they're going to tell you most likely don't want your LLC to be your name. So talk to ChatGPT, talk to Claude. Don't just talk to us. That's Chicago John and me, your girl, Chris D. He's going to tell us about the play. What are we doing to make sure that we have ownership? We were talking to your friend on your live not long ago, and she was saying how she was creating her own. She's looking for a back end developer, right, to create her own space to speak to her community.
Yeah.
It, Now that's another way that you can own your stuff, right? Own your content, own your data.
Yeah, I mean, we want, and we'll probably talk about this on next podcast, so we can have a little more information. That's what I wanted to have. because there are people who actually have their own data centers now. There are people who have their own servers now. There are people who actually have their own storage arrays. All those things that you think that only the big companies have. I'm pretty sure too, because there are a lot of companies that get rid of their stuff when they get the new ones, and some of the old stuff that they got is good enough for a regular person, and you can get them. You can get it, fairly a lot cheaper than they bought it. The only thing is, they got to get wiped through. But there are places where when businesses go out of business, the IT department gets like shoved somewhere. If they, you got company like Iron Mountain and
That's
stuff
a
that
great
goes
point.
and like destroys it and that kind of stuff. But if you're able to get it, if you're able to get those things, those server, like I said, my old boss, she had a server thing in her house. Um, you know, yeah, she had a server in her house, and I was like, wow, like, maybe, and I don't think she spent that much. I mean, I'm pretty close to a penny because she even had the glass box for it, and and the and the server, and then her whole house was like cameras to the brim. Like she had cameras in the walls, cameras in the
Wow.
kitchen, cameras everywhere and
Oh
stuff
my
like that. So
gosh.
yeah, it was intense. And it wasn't even like it looked like it felt like a townhouse in a way. But it was, yeah, I think she was kind of ahead of the time on the future and stuff like that. So you try to
Yeah, for sure. If
invest
she
that
was
kind of
doing
stuff.
that, what, a decade ago?
No, that was, yeah. I mean, no, 2 years, 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh,
She
okay,
had this kind
sorry.
of stuff.
He's like, stop
Yeah,
making me
so
old, yo.
I'm just saying, like, you want to start owning your own. When we talk about owning your own properties and things, that is one of the things too. I mean, look, there's people who own all the DVDs of every movie they like because they're afraid of the apocalypse that happen and stuff like that. So,
Sorry, NJ.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I forgot. I keep making it that it's 2016, not 2026, right? So my dates were off. But our friend NJ is also agreeing with us that the LLC is not, it's not in their name. It's actually in the digital products name. And that's definitely what they say as far as, organizing your business and wanting to stay safe liability wise. Thank you so much for coming in, y'all. We're talking about whether or not, the play for you. We always want to talk about action steps. Maybe, that's an incredible thing that your friend had that is not that far off for a lot of people. Yeah, yeah, some people have server equipment for their own stuff. Some people are making their own versions of Discord to make sure that their community has somewhere to go off of these third party apps. What happens if this app goes down? Are you able to speak to your community at all? So even if you haven't created a simple product, we're going to tell you that you could probably get it done by the end of the day if you were to talk to an LLM like Chat or Claude. And I can prove it to you because in the past 29 minutes, I have started and finished my freebie for everyone to start thinking about how they can clean up their credit, right? We talk a lot about finances, we talk a lot about our business, we talk a lot about savings, and most of the time it's really hard for you to save an emergency fund when you're still drowning in debt and paying, the minimum balance, which is mainly just interest. So if that's something that interests you, I want to show also that, you can do things while you're doing other things. Moms, we know. Okay, entrepreneurs, we know. You got to be multifaceted, and that doesn't always mean that everything gets done, right? So somebody like Claude, somebody like Chat, Gemini, Manus, whatever you want, whoever you're about, these things can actually be working for you in the background, even if you haven't learned the AI agent and automation yet. So, John's old boss owned it all. Okay. So if you don't own it, how can you control it? So we all see we don't own anything that has to do with gas and oil, and we can't control it, but you can control your face, your voice, your name, your content. So think about that when you are thinking about the play. What is the layer of ownership? What are you thinking about, Chicago? Since everything is already printed for your first book, are you making pages for that? What's the next move for you?
Yeah, the next move is just definitely like right now I'm recording at different locations of food places so I can start gearing up and writing for the next one to come out. And then transferring the services of the book from my main page to his own page so it can have his own page and live there. So it's not get so muddled with the things I already do. At this point, it's kind of like having a house. I got too many people in this house. So some of these ideas, these baby ideas, are turning into adults, and they need to get the hell out. Unless they're starting to take take root and pay their own bill.
Good point. I mean, and you're somebody with a lot of followers, so you can playlist a lot of things, but some things deserve their own house altogether.
Yeah, yeah, because like I'm doing more commentary talk and breakdown of why things working and things of that nature. So somebody who's a book person may not be so keen into everything else I'm talking about. So and when things start to take a life of their own, then it's okay to move those things off. If they're not taking a life of their own, you can experiment. That's why if you are making the content, you can do the 20/80 rule, like 80% of what people come to your page for and then 20% of you experimenting with some other things and things of that nature. That's why, because when you do too much,
Thank
sometimes the
you.
algorithm get crazy. They don't understand what you're trying to do. Then they got to repurpose you, and now you're playing catch up, and then you have to kind of like stop and do it all over again. So, yeah,
It's a great point, though. That's why we were thinking about making a full page for our podcast here, because we both do have creative ideas that we want to give
yeah.
some space to on our own pages. But the podcast is running, and she's got legs of her own, and she deserves to run free. Sorry.
I think she's still on training wheels. So for a little bit. So yeah.
Oh well, so training wheels means she needs her own space, then, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. Well,
Train.
he just told me no. So listen, y'all ask him about the long game. I don't know.
You don't
Apparently,
got a baby.
the play
Your baby barely
the play
walking. Do
for
you want to
so
put your
many of
baby out
you.
right now? Go ahead, put your baby outside the house and call it a day.
Don't ask me that today because I would have said yes after the way this child kirked out.
See,
But no, you're right. What I'm
that's why we need a two-partner parent household of raising this business. All right, this is the only time where a
so
nuclear business is great for this, not for real babies. You got over here got this hamster mother over here trying to eat the young and the rich and eat everything. So no. Yeah, but yeah, when you start seeing your project that you are working on, because if you're somebody like myself or Crystal, who makes so many different ideas in their heads and things of that nature, you gotta see what works. And so of that nature.
listen, you see him basically telling y'all to be like me, but not be like me. Did you catch that? It's like the slight shade that you have to watch with Chicago John. But honestly, it is true. So don't tell him I told you. But if you are like me and you are a serial biznog, I don't know how to say it. But if you, I'm going to come up with a good word like studstitute. I need something like a serial. Anyway, if you always have business ideas and you need help, come to the patch, Claude AI, available now 24/7 in your app store. And all you have to do is talk to it about all of those business ideas, and it'll tell you that most of them are bad. And you should just focus
Yes.
on one. And then you need to actually execute it. So talk to it about that.
And then pay the $20 and just run out after two ideas because you used the highest thing. But then when you use the lowest thing too, it kind of leaves out stuff too. So then you kind of in a perpetual state of back and forthing of what are you
Thank
really
you for
truly
coming
doing until
back.
they
Thank you.
force you to spend an extra $170. So you are paying for the $200 a month feature just to kind of make sure you getting everything on track so you can scale yourself back down. But that's neither.
But that's for another podcast. No, but truly, we often want to give you guys action steps. We want to give you the play, ironically, inside. So the play is, what is your layer of ownership? A lot of us are talking about things that other people are doing. They are talking about the content of other people. They're talking about the professional games. They're talking about professional actors. Those aren't necessarily your ideas, but it is your content. It is what you decided to say. So do you own it? If this app went down, would you still have your content, right? If this app went down, would you still be able to comment and talk to the last people that maybe threw you gifts in your live, or that maybe commented and sent you gifts through your content, right? Which you can do on a lot of platforms. So organize your content so that it can be reusable. Start thinking about what the simple product can be, while we sit here and tell you about the podcast that we are going to continue recording Wednesdays, 1 p.m. EST. Join us weekly here. Talk data to me. Thank you so much for joining us. Chicago John is telling you that you're basically renting, and you should be owning. So you see him holding up his physical book that he has literally not put down, just to make sure you see that there is real estate you can own. That was your cue to say something, dude.
That is my real
See, you don't
estate,
hear that
yes.
echo?
So no, no, there's no echo. Let me see. Well, that's our cue to hurry up and run off here. But yes, so when you get a chance, if you have a time you want to check out my book, Big Mama and the Big Bad Book of Secrets, is out now on everywhere you can find it, actually in the TikTok shop. And if you need the audio, that's everywhere you can find that as well too. You can get that. And also, if you're looking for more technology talks on here on this page, I will be posting that here when I'm there with yeah, on here on this app as well. So make sure you hit the subscribe on the YouTube, or follow me on TikTok or anything else where you can find Chicago John at. You can find me all that and clicking the beacon out there. And if also you want to find a little strategy session still with about your digital products and marketing besides myself, or you want to work with somebody like Crystal, go over there to Crystal D Creates. If you're on the YouTube, I've got her collab here. So make sure you follow her. We're trying to get her numbers up on that as well, or follow her or any of the other places that you need to reach out to her too. So you can find us every week here, and check out for us on podcasts. There's places like YouTube, Google, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere else as well too. So we look forward to working and staying right with you guys, and connecting and watching you guys grow. And we enjoy you guys watching us grow, so we can all be successful together, because you want to be famous, don't you? And you gotta work. We all gotta work together. We gotta get up there. So we look forward to it. Back to you,
Shout
Crystal.
out to you. Thank you so much. I love it. I love the tagline, because you want to be famous. So don't wait. Let's go create. We are talking about,
Yeah.
there is nothing but open play, open space for all to join, right? There is more tools and more access, and there are more creators. So there's more competition. But people are loving authenticity. And like he was just saying, you don't need the perfect light and the perfect frame. Wipe your dang camera off and let's get to work. Okay. So if you feel like the opportunity is everywhere, but you haven't grabbed your opportunity, that's how we are winning, right? That's the way that we will win, if we grab the opportunity and stay consistent. And a lot of us, we get like a bead on something and then we just change, and we don't follow even 30 days to see how it opens up. So maybe your community can tell you, because they most likely want to participate with what you own, and that is what you're looking to build, right? So what's the shift from posting to building, right? You are starting a conversation. You're consistently talking to people and saying, "Hey, talk to me back in the comments." If they are talking back to you in the comments, what is it about? That you've got to be live right there. Market research, like you said, about what people want to know, about what people care about, or go do your own. Search it in TikTok, search it in Creator Search Insights, search it in YT, um, search it in Gemini, and figure out how you can build, this asset and this attention, and control it yourself. Like Chicago John printing his own book, the LLC, the you're the same name on all the platforms, right? You made sure your handle was taken so nobody else could come up with your name.
All right. Well, like I said, so we look forward to work with you guys and
I
catch
don't
y'all
think he
next
listens
time
to me
and
like when
next
I'm
week.
saying.
So we will talk to you soon and get ready for more. And we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.